Hey everyone, it's Fred from Real Life Crypto. I want to thank you all for the views and the comments and the great feedback on social media. Still learning how to do this and share, but just within the last week or so, I started to explore the world of NFTs, and I love it. It's a great space. The artwork is fantastic, and there's just so much out there to explore. So I want to just share three projects that I have either jumped onto or are looking forward to. And I think some of like those rules for investing in cryptocurrency kind of extend to the NFT space. And I wanted to just kind of share what I found to be really helpful for me too in getting started in this world. And just open and honest, I'm very new to this, right? So I'm talking like weeks of experience as opposed to months or years, right? And so there's a lot of people with a lot more experience than me, but this is real. And none of this is financial advice or should be taken as a sign to also invest in these projects also. But I think it speaks a little bit to how I've learned to navigate the space where there's just so much awesome work out there. So one of the things that I realized as I started to do some looking around is that there's, the space is ballooning. I'm jumping in as things are exploding, which can be kind of tough, right? But very, very cool. So I found I need to do a little bit of research to understand elements of minting, right? And so like kind of basically building these tokens, creating them, so to speak, and then picking them up on the secondary market through marketplaces like OpenSea, right? So I had to do a whole lot of research. And then I started to research some of the projects that were really attracting a lot of attention to understand why they were attracting a lot of attention. And a fair amount of it is for finances and speculative reasons. And so if that's something that interests you, then right, like be aware of that too. And then for others, it was just the like interest of the art. So I just want to share three projects that I find really kind of interesting. And what was also helpful for me is because there's so much great art out there, I realized I had to really go with what I was passionate about. So these three are real passion areas for me. So the first thing I really wanted to do was find some art that I couldn't necessarily just purchase in the live space, right? I couldn't go to an art gallery or find some prints of in a store and pick up. And so I want to show you this Generative Masks project, which is just amazing. I was so taken with it. It was actually the first piece I bought. And what I'm showing you now is a GIF that I put together. So I purchased this mask, and the way the project works, and Takao Shinsuke, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but is the creator of this project. And so the way it works is there are all these masks that are built around what I believe are meant to be like I think Native American style masks or geometric patterns and color combinations. But what's so cool is so you buy the mask, and then every time you refresh within your wallet, within your profile, the color patterns change, and there's like 6 or 7 potentially more of those patterns. So I grabbed some of them, put them in a GIF, and they were just fantastic how different the art became. And that was something to me. And again, this is the first piece I bought, and what I imagine will be likely a growing gallery over time. It spoke to me as like, okay, this is something you can do that's really cool with digital art, right? Very, very different. So that was a key passion, and I imagine I'll continue to collect projects like that. Another project that I found myself really drawn to was the Super Bunnies project. And so those of you who know me know that I am a total sci-fi geek. I'm really into comics, superheroes. I just got my my most recent monthly batch of comics. And so I was looking for artwork that really had fun with the superhero theme. And so the Super Bunnies project does that. And what they're also looking to do is create some gamified opportunities where the bunnies will be able to compete against each other. There's a batch of light bunnies and a batch of dark bunnies. I bought one of each. And then they also have like traits, like character traits, right? And different attributes, some which are rarer than others. So if you ever collected cards of any kind, baseball, superhero cards, Pokemon, magic cards, the rarity values of the traits also make them not only like likely more valuable in the gamification elements, and they've even found a way to make it deflationary, like you can combine your bunnies to create a new species, a tiger, which will have what seems like combined properties of new ones, right? And therefore will reduce the supply of bunnies. So it's a really cool project that's pulling from a lot of elements of other crypto space, pop culture, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And then the last one, which hasn't launched yet, I'm really excited about it, is the Sevens project. So one thing that I didn't mention is that I found that with, just like my involvement with cryptocurrency, being part of an NFT community really only works if the community is really strong. And so the Sevens community is an amazing group of people. I've only been in it for 2 days, but I feel like I'm really connected and really like supportive. Right? And so it's been great to listen in, learn from people who were there, and immediately feel like there's a lot of common shared interests. And one of those is also like a real interest in the storyline. I am someone who's into like dystopian stories. When I think back when I had the time to be more of a gamer, I found myself into really rich storylines with character development. And I think like of the Final Fantasy series. And so when I think of the Sevens, I think a lot about that and some of the characters who you might find in some of those games and stories. So the story is really, really rich. The community is really, really strong, right? And within their site, they've built a lot of elements of the storyline in there. It feels a little bit like elements of, let's say, like Ender's Game mixed with Ready Player One. And I find myself really kind of drawn to that. And I'm really excited for the opportunity to see where that project goes. And it gets started early in September 7th. So those are like 3 projects that have helped me connect with the digital mode of art, or really kind of connected to my own passions and things that I'm really excited about. And also, there's like a lot of talk and energy and community behind them. And I really feel like as I continue to learn in the space, that those will be some of the things that I look for. One thing I just want to add before ending this video is that just like with cryptocurrency, I've learned that you have to really stick with NFT projects. And for a couple reasons. One, I really feel that, at least for me, finding myself into projects that I'm passionate about make a lot of sense. That doesn't mean that at some point I won't look to turn those investments into a financial investment. But I found for me, what works is really feeling connected to the project and the piece. And I feel that way about these. And so what I say is because for all 3 of these projects so far, there is a mix of people who are really passionate about it, and then those who are also really kind of interested in the financial element. it pays to really stay focused on why you engaged in the project and what makes the most sense to you. And so I'm looking forward to, again, even though I've only been in this space for a week, doing research for a little bit longer, I'm really excited to see where these three projects and others that I find go over the next weeks and months. So I'll be looking to share more. Thanks for giving this a listen. I'd love to hear your feedback. What are you learning about the NFT space? What are some of the best tips and rules and strategies you've used? And thanks again for watching.